morning! Ohayou gozaimasu! It is day 20 of Vlogmas and I'm rushing to school. So I'll see you later. It's been a long day. It's 7:30 and we're home now. Finally home now. Benny, shuduk. I want to preface this entire story of what happened from when I left school until now with the fact that I was a wildlife biology and conservation major. In Scotland, I was licensed to trap small mammals and I have experience handling wild animals. Not only experience physically, but knowledge. So I wasn't going into this blind. I don't recommend that everybody do what I did in this scenario. I was walking back and I saw a bird that was in the water and it wasn't a water type bird. So I stopped and I was watching it and it was definitely struggling and it was definitely stuck. And so I grabbed my Tupperware from lunch from today and leaned down, and it took a while, I think, for the bird to know that it could trust me, and it kind of crappily swam over towards the ledge where my arm was hanging down with my Tupperware, and I was able to scoop it up and I set it down on the canal thinking that it would run away from me immediately, but it's not. But yeah, so this bird does not want to leave me now. I think it's traumatized. I think it's really scared, and I think it's wet, and I don't know if it's hurt or not, but I don't know what to do. So I think I'm gonna call Joe. Maybe we'll be bringing it to a vet, but I don't have anything to bring it to the vet with. I don't know what to do. Can you guys see this little baby bird? It's in between my legs. I've never seen this behavior from a wild bird before. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this thing is completely exhausted or it's injured and it's seeking comfort. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking maybe it just needs to dry off. Maybe I can just sit here long enough for it to dry off and then it can fly away and everything will be fine. And then some of my students are riding by on their bikes and they're all stopping, wondering why their teacher is just sitting in the middle of the bike path. All my stuff is just strewn about. My jacket's off and it's freaking freezing. And I have Tupperware next to me that's just wet, and you know, random passers-by are saying, "Daijoubu desu ka?" I'm like, "Daijoubu desu! Gomenasai!" Some of my students are stopping and they're looking at the bird, and I'm trying to tell them to give it space while the bird's huddled up against me, which makes no sense to them. But I didn't want them scaring the bird. So I'm messaging Joe and I'm telling him to please come, because if the bird doesn't fly away, you know, I need somebody to look at it, or, you know, something. I just wanted a second opinion on what I should do. But then at one point, I moved to grab my jacket, to put my jacket on over me because I was so cold, and the bird got a bit startled, and it went to fly and it went right back in the canal. And I'm like, oh no! So my kids are watching and they're freaking out, but I was able to do the same thing. As soon as the bird saw the Tupperware and saw my arm, it came over once again. And so I'm like, okay, it's official, it can't fly. I don't know why it can't fly, but it can't fly. By the time that Joe gets there, it's now dark. And I knew it wanted to get to the other side of the canal because it kept trying to fly to the other side of the canal. Like I said, I've had experience handling wild animals before. You shouldn't do this if you don't have experience handling wild animals. Maybe call animal control or a local authority. But what I did was I took my hoodie that I normally wear, the red one, the Edinburgh one, and I just wrapped the bird and it let me wrap it. It pecked a little bit at my fingers, but it wasn't hard or anything. I have no cuts or scrapes or anything. And so I wrapped it up. Joe was here at this point. I walk over to the other side of the canal, and there's a little farm there with a bunch of trees. So I go to put it at the base of the tree to see how it's looking and if it's going to, you know, I was nervous to put it in the tree because what if it like was really, really weak and it just falls and then it breaks its neck or something. So I put it at the base of the tree and I'm just observing it for a while. And it's trying to walk and it keeps falling over and I'm like, oh, this bird is injured or just completely exhausted. And there's cats. There's wild cats roaming around. So I made the decision to once again take the bird, wrap it up. I'm holding it very gently, and we go to the vet. Oh, thank you so much, baby. Oh. Do you have sriracha? We haven't even had dinner yet. We have our vet that we could go to, but it was further away, and I didn't know if the bird started to maybe decline or thank you. So first I was like, all right, let's just go to the closest vet, and if they're open, you know, great. We went to the closest vet and they were closed, and then I'm like, okay, we can take a chance and go to another closer vet and have them be closed, and then our vet will be closed, or we'll just go straight to our vet and we'll make it. So we went straight to our vet, and that turned out to definitely be the right move. The entire ride, the bird is just in my hands, not making a peep, not pecking at me. It's kind of, you know, slowly closing its eyes, and I'm taking my thumb and every once in a while just rubbing very gently, and then it opens its eyes a little bit again, and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to die. I couldn't handle it if it died in my arms or in my hands or whatever. So we get to my vet, and I just walk into my vet holding this wild bird. And so we're using the translator to explain that I scooped it out of the canal and that we think maybe its wing is broken or something is wrong. My vet was able to see us right away. Luckily there was no cats or dogs in the waiting room or anything. We got so lucky because I was nervous about that too. He put it in this little plastic container. And he did not like that. The bird did not like that. It starts pecking at the plastic and starts for the first time showing signs of being, you know, annoyed, which is good. That means that it's healthy. It was, you know, not so lethargic and not so exhausted that it couldn't react as a wild bird should react. He opened its wings. Now, I could have checked its wings like that, but I have only ever handled healthy animals previously. I'm not a vet. I didn't go to veterinary school. So we took it to a professional, and that was the right move. And he told us that there was nothing wrong with its wings, with its feet. It was physically okay. It was just completely exhausted. We have no idea how long it was flapping around the canal for before I found it and got it. So then he gave it some, not medication, but like sugar water to get its nutrients back up. And then he also dumped bird food in with him.
On it.
Yeah, on the bird, and then it went everywhere. He had a cardboard box. He put down an absorbent pad. He gave us sugar water to give to the bird when we got back home. And food. The bird is in the other room in a box. Very, very quiet. He's just resting. Our vet didn't even charge us anything. They said, you know, that we did it for conservation purposes. We're protecting the bird. We're being good people, so they refused to charge us. Tomorrow, we're going to check on the bird again. I'm going to let it rest for 24 hours. We're going to check on it after school, and if it's okay, then we will release it in around the same area. And yeah, man, that was an eventful day. So now we just need something quick. I got me my udon again. Joe's having ramen. I'm exhausted. So I have to upload the video from yesterday and call it a night.
Don't comment on the same pants.
Okay, so we're putting in some sugar water mixture to get up the bird's strength. Hi, baby.
Is it Indio?
Yeah, I see him. Good baby. Oh, you're exhausted.
You have food.
Here.
Don't fly.
Don't fly. No, he's not prepared for flight. You seem very content. Hold on. You
careful.
seem perfectly happy. That's a good bird. Okay, it's almost 10 o'clock. We had dinner, we watched a little bit of YouTube, some different reviews on The Last Jedi, and yeah, now I'm thinking it's time for bed. So the bird is in a box with the water, the sugar water, and seeds and everything in the bathroom. That way there are 2 doors in between the bird and the cats. Also, I have chosen a name for the bird. I know I'm not supposed to name the bird. It's not my bird, it's a wild bird. But anyway, I named the bird. And if you can guess the bird's name in the comments below, you will get a high five. I don't know, maybe I'll mention your name in a future vlog or something. Something cool, something wonderful will happen. So here's your clue. He's a good bird. Always cleans his feathers. Yeah. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you know? If you know, comment below.
I didn't know.
You still don't know?
I know now, but I didn't know.
It took Joe a while, which is shameful. I don't understand how that's possible. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow, and maybe we will be releasing our new bird friend. I hope so. I hope that he recovers quickly and he can get released back into the wild tomorrow and is a very happy bird. So, I'll see you then. Good night. Bye. You gonna say goodnight? Good night. You silly girl. Good night, beautiful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Ooh, that looks like a cool video. You should totally watch that. Click that like button.